Hi, I'm Oli.
Hi, I'm Rob.
And this is a comic strip AP of Dungeon World featuring the increasingly elaborate adventures of Alford Soultaker. When we last saw Alford, he had just taken down the Inquisitor and the governor of the prison encampment where he lives, only to run outside and find that pretty much the whole of Frostbreach was aflame, as the soldiers which came with the Inquisitor were apparently treacherous troops and appeared to be trying to free the criminals from Alderman's guards.
The war has reached Frostbreach and has brought hell and fury in its wake. Within minutes of the fighting beginning, factions crumble. Friendships and alliances evaporate like snow in sun. The fragile unity of desperate men, fueled only by months of despair and starvation, is obliterated. Soon, no one can recall how the fighting started or why, only that survival is earned with a strong arm and a sharp blade. The townsfolk have never needed more to exercise discipline and restraint, but Frostbreach is not a town of good people. Grudges, fear, and resentment manifest in a roiling tide of violence and death. For a few hours, a red mist seems to cover the bleached landscape, and I see the soul of Frostbreach as the snow is washed away in its blood. My name is Alford Soultaker. I am a monster hunter.
Okay, so you're on the balcony.
Yeah.
Overlooking Frostbreach, which is literally aflame, and figuratively. You've got battles going on at every corner. You don't have any of your weapons with you.
No.
More importantly, you don't have Wyrmblight with you.
No, I don't.
Do you have any weapons with you?
I think everyone in Frostbreach goes armed.
Okay.
You're not allowed to carry large weaponry around the town unless you're a member of the town guard. But a knife is a tool of survival in Frostbreach, so most everyone carries a small cudgel or a knife or some sort of implement. So I have my skinning knife tucked in my boot.
Which has saved your life on many an occasion.
It has. It's followed me from the war.
It has, yeah. So, what do you do? You've left Venombearer McKee guarding Alderman and the Inquisitor.
I smile at that thought.
Yeah, he's not the most trustworthy, nor the most able necessarily.
Nor necessarily the most bright, so I'm hoping that he may just stand there and waggle his sword around before realising that it's a bad idea.
This is a terrible idea.
Dreadful idea for him, but he at least might stall the Inquisitor and Alderman for a minute or two.
I think he basically just did it because of, momentum. What are you doing?
As I see it, this is either the end of Frostbreach or it's the end of my time here. I can't see any outcome here where I go back to my monster hunting role or go back to a functional role in the town of any kind. Not when not when I've headbutted Alderman in the face, and not when O'Brien, who appears to be the most powerful man for leagues around, obviously wants me. So yes, I have to leave. Yes. The thought that I had to leave struck me the minute I realised I'd been outed as a Kingslayer. I have to run. We are in the middle of the Northern Wilds. What I need in order to survive is more weaponry than just a skinning knife, more equipment, so I need to get back to my hovel.
Okay, right.
I attempt to vault the barrier and land lightly on my feet and try and spy a way through the crowd that I can sprint through in the direction of my hut.
Okay, let's start the evening's rolling with a Defy Danger Dex. That pretty much defines Defy Danger Dex.
So 7.
Are you just kind of leaping off the balcony straight and just trying to land right? What's your plan for landing here?
It's something of a medieval superhero landing. So it's landing into a squat while my cape just floats nicely around my shoulders.
You leap off the balcony and figure that you can kind of break your fall with some degree of skill. However, there are skirmishes going on all around you, and one comes your way. There's a melee. 2 of the exiles are fighting 2 of the guards, and you land just smack into one of them, sending you both tumbling over. So there is one of the exiles on the floor that you've just bowed into, one of the exiles still like, where the fuck did this guy come from? 2 guards, 2 exiles, 1 on the floor. What do you do?
I have no interest in engaging in this melee. I'm going to try and extricate myself from this fight. I don't intend to engage anyone if I can possibly help it. So in Alford's keen fighter's eye, is this a fight I can get out of?
There's a fight going on, and you've just essentially entered it, but people's adrenaline's up, people are ready to kill, so no, I don't think you're just going to be able to get out of this by just heading off.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
Do I know either of the exiles?
We get to use Spout Lore, which is intelligence, I believe. And it's the first time that we've done Spout Lore, so do you want to read out the move text for the listeners at home?
Sure. Spout Lore. When you consult your accumulated knowledge about something, roll plus intelligence. On a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation. On a 7 to 9, the GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. The GM might ask you, how do you know this? Tell them the truth now.
So roll.
It's a 6.
That is a fail. You're looking at these guys and you don't know them. There's a lot of people. How many people are in Frostbreach?
Pushing 100 convicts. We've lost quite a lot. And 30 guards.
So, like, you've seen these guys around,
yeah.
But you don't know them. You don't know them by name, for example.
I've made it my business not to become too friendly with anybody.
But one of the guards very much recognises you. Pushes the other exile aside, just with a sort of an almost casual blow. He's a big dude, massive beard, dreadlocks going back.
Soultaker. The Inquisitor said to look out for you.
What do you do?
Okay, he is armed, I assume.
He is, yes. He's got a Gert Big Bastard sword.
A Gert Big Bastard sword. Okay, with a wretched look and a sigh, I really had hoped to avoid any kind of fight like this. I square myself to him and try and get in close to him, close into his body, where I can use my strength and size, but he can't use his massive bastard sword.
Because it's too big.
It's just too big. So I'm just going to try and duck in too close, try a rabbit punch into his kidney.
Nice, okay. Make me a hack and slash.
So it's a 5 and a 4, plus my 2 for strength, so 11 this time.
Okay, nice. You slam him just into the kidney, and one of the things which you did recognise, because of your Spout Lore roll, is that this guy is actually of quite ill health, and that is enough to send him crippled to his knees. The other guy, however, is attempting to bundle you from behind. You kidney punch that guy, he goes down, but his mate is coming behind you and grabs your arms. What do you do?
So this guy is on his knees in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well this is an action movie, so as this guy comes behind me and grabs me from the elbows and shoulders, the guy in front of me is a big fella, so I try and plant my foot squarely on his shoulder and my other on his forehead and flip straight over the back of him.
Nice. Okay, that is going to be a Defy Danger Strength.
Shit. 4.
4! Oh my god. You go forward and try and push yourself off of this guy, but he recovers quicker than you were expecting and just bundles forward towards you, so you kind of crash into each other as you're going towards him, he's going towards you, and he shoulder blocks you down to the floor and punches you square across the face.
I bet he does.
If you roll d6 damage. I haven't hurt you in ages.
No, it's a 5.
Ooh, the combination of you falling backwards when you expect to go forward, so you kind of twist your leg a little bit, and he brings this ham fist down straight into your jaw, and you can feel your jaw break as he slams into you, and blood spatters across the snow. He's on top of you. You're sort of on top of the guy who was trying to bundle you because he's kind of fallen backwards. Those other 2 exiles are picking themselves up.
So I'm lying essentially on my back, pretty much on top of the second guard, with the first big bear of a man bearing down on me to lay another blow in there. If I can just run a bit of interference with my feet in the way of that blow, I'm going to grab my skinning knife from my boot and try and just ram it into his other kidney.
That's just going to be a hack and slash.
Hack and slash. Okay, it's 12.
Nice. Okay,
yes.
Roll your damage.
Okay, I've got an 8.
That is enough. You get it right into his back, and you can actually feel that your hand goes into him a little bit by the that you've cut into him. And yeah, he roars in pain. He's gonna collapse on top of you though.
Okay.
Because he was coming towards you.
He was.
What do you do?
Can I roll out of the way?
Defy Danger Dex, please.
Dex?
Yes.
8.
8, okay. You roll out of the way, but he lands on top of your arm. And once you're able to bring your arm out, your skinning knife is left behind. What do? You could go back for it. It is, after all, a very precious near heirloom at this point.
So the convicts are up on their feet. This guy is either dying or doomed, or dying or dead, I should say. And the guy underneath him, is he able to get up, or is he's kind of stuck
underneath his massive friend?
Okay, in that case, I think I'm not in too much of a rush here, not with a broken jaw, so I do my best just to clutch at my jaw, feel that it's snapped, lean down, and I'm going to pull the knife out, and I kick the sword away only 2 or 3 feet from the guard, the downed guard.
Yes,
And then I offer a hand to him, and I just say through my broken jaw,
"There's a lot more of them than you. Take help when it comes."
I think he's just going to nod.
I heave him up, wordlessly point at where his sword is, just out of reach for him to use it against me, and I just step past him and break into a run away from the melee again.
And on you go, running through the crowd, cries of pain and anguish as people are getting stabbed and slashed all around you, shouts, commands, that sort of thing. And you get to your hut. As you're running towards your hut, you can see that the door has been smashed open.
I mutter a curse and duck up toward the doorway alongside of it and risk a glance in.
There is someone at the... Where did you hide Wyrmblight again? It was under a...
He was in the back of a
floorboard, wasn't it?
No, he was in the back of a rudimentary cupboard behind a rudimentary fake back.
Okay, yeah. And you can see someone throwing out clothes from there. You can see someone is going through your cupboard.
Grit my teeth in a certain degree of frustration before letting go of that. That hurts a lot. I'm going to try and sneak up upon this guy.
Roll me a Defy Danger Dex.
7.
A 7. You move your way through the door silently, because the door's already been smashed open, so there's no creak or anything like that. And you know, because you've sort of planned your escape over various times,
yes,
which of these floorboards creak, which of them don't. And you're getting closer and closer.
I firm my grip around the knife.
And then you realise, as you're almost on them, that you know this person. And Helda turns around, pulling the cloth off Wyrmblight, and she says, Soultaker, I think you've got quite a lot of explaining to do.
What is my damage with a knife?
It's not with a knife, it's just your damage. You just have a damage dice.
Oh, okay.
In Dungeon World, it's not about how big your weapon is, it's about how you use it, Rob.
I've heard that before and I didn't believe it then.
I know, old Skinny.
Yeah.
Old Skinny is stuck.
Skinny McSkin-faced and skinning knife. Oh, my old friend.
Skinny
Okay.
McSkinface just sounds like a really friendly serial killer.
Skinny McSkin-faced.
Hi, this is Jason from the Gauntlet Gaming Community. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, please consider supporting the Gauntlet on Patreon. Our page can be found at patreon.com/gauntlet.